All right. I guess a few folks were asking me out there, how do I do all this stuff, man? I got my Saint shirt on too, right? How do I do all this stuff with the keyboard and my toys here? And I'm gonna go over a few things of what I do, man, to make my shows happen, and maybe give a few pointers for folks out there that might have a Genos. You never know, or might want to get a Genos, Yamaha Genos. That's what this is, this keyboard here. And I'm going to talk about it. Now, if you got some comments that you want to ask me, I can actually see all the contacts on the right-hand side here who's online. So let me know. First, I'm going to go through, this is the Yamaha Genos. I've been having this for a short time now, but it is probably one of the best keyboards I've ever seen in the world. I've had a lot of keyboards in my time, but man, this one does take the cake. It does take the cake. Let me go over some things. Now, I've got some pictures. Let me see. That way you can kind of see the keyboard on top. There you go. Kind of see it on top, and that's the front screen and the keys, and of course, all my little buttons that make all these things happen. On this main screen here, this is where all the magic, so-called magic, happens. So if you got some questions you want to ask about this keyboard, let me know. I'd be glad to share some information. Let me say this real fast. When I'm doing all my keyboard work, most of the time I'm going through changes in this little button right here. This is called the style button. And the Yamaha Genos, this is known as an arranger keyboard, right? An arranger keyboard. So it's got a lot of styles and things that happen automatically for you. So it's got automatic, rhythm tracks. When you first buy these, they come with some presets. Let me see if I can zoom in. There you go, a little bit better. So you can look at these presets. It comes with these presets that comes with the keyboards. I just don't use these presets. I've got my own presets. And what I've ended up doing was have my own set list. So you can see all the way from A to Z, all the way down, man. I've got all my songs that I use in here. If I just pull up, if I want to look on this right now, it's got all the songs, titles, and it's got something called styles. Styles are pretty cool, man. Let's talk about, before we get into the styles, let me talk about this real fast, the sounds that I use. I have a specific bunch of sounds that I love, and you're going to see it right above this little area right here where all these little blue buttons are. And so I've got 10 different presets that I love the most. This one here, that's my grand piano, of course. Right? Now, if I go to the next one, I've got my next preset is an electric piano. Electric. My next preset I use the most, and these are the ones that I use the most when I'm doing my gigging and my jobs, is number 3 is my acoustic guitar. And all these can be modified on the spot when I'm playing. So if I'm looking to change a sound or something like that, I'll go over here and you'll see me press some buttons as I do this. I'll go to my mixer, right? And I can actually modify, there's the guitar sound that I want to use. I can go in there and I can say, hey, you know what, I want some more effects. I want to add the reverb. I can add that to it. I can add a little modulation, right? And I go back to my original sound. So it kind of gives me some options as I'm playing. Now, if I go to number 4, that is my electric guitar. Right? And my electric distortion. And I'm doing sounds like that. So when I'm doing these sounds, I have a couple of different setups that I use. So here's my number 6, which is my accordion. 7 is my organ. Clavinet, my funky sound. And again, if I want to modify anything on here, I can do that. Number 9 is my horns. Right? And of course, sax on the end. So when I'm playing the keyboard stuff, let me go back to the styles now, that you understand the sounds. Styles are something that's pretty cool. I'm going to zoom out. Here's a full keyboard. So when I zoom out, you can kind of see my hands on this side when I'm pressing different patterns. So if I'm doing, let's do an old 50s rock and roll thing right here. So I'm doing this, check this out. Now you can see that is something that's called A, pattern A. I'm gonna go to B, check this out. And you notice if I'm doing this now, you gotta have the chord structure going on. So believe it or not, my pinky is playing bass, okay? And the rest of the fingers are playing the chords. So if I'm gonna walk down, Check my pinky out. So my pinky plays the bass part, and of course the rest of it will play the chord structure. So if I'm doing a C, if I want to add a seventh to that, you'll hear my seventh come in, or augment it, or 9, right? Whatever I'm going to do, I can add to that. And so as I'm changing these styles, you can see the buttons kind of moving on this side. Then I have a break, right? And then an ending. So I can go through all these styles and all these different sounds. So here's another one. I'm going to pick one more, and I'll make this a brief tutorial on what goes on here when I'm playing live, so you can kind of see some of this. I'll take another one. I'm do Amazing Grace. I'm going to hear some of that. And what I normally do, I'll take these songs and I'll modify it to fit the particular songs that I'm playing. Right? And I can change my sounds as I'm playing. Do all the different changes as I'm playing. And you notice what I'm doing as I'm playing, I'm changing the different styles to fit the song as it starts to build up. And of course, all the endings and all the sounds that you're hearing is all done by me just kind of using my left hand going to work here. And again, all the sounds across here in the front, that's the sounds that I use the most. I like those. And again, you know, on all these presets, I'm not saying they're bad presets, but to fit what I do, I have my own bass parts. You can actually go into a song, you can modify a song. So if I'm doing this one, And I Love You So, right? And I say, well, I don't like the bass part that's on there. I can actually go in there and I can go to a style creator, right? Go in and I can modify any one of those instruments that I don't like. So I can change that if I don't like the bass part. So I've got a bass part, I don't like that. So I say, well, you know what? I want to have a different bass line. Here's another bass line. Let me see. Here's bass. Right, you can kind of hear the bass going on, and maybe I just don't like that particular bass. I can take that part out, and I end up programming my own sound, or my own style on there, my own bass parts. So you can go in there. I can do this, right? I'm going to hold it down, and there's the bass. Right, depending on what sound I want to use, and then again, I can have different basses that I want to use. I say if I want to use more of a this. Right? But if it's a soft, very soft and pretty song, you want something like that, nice and pretty, you know? So all these things, again, they're all done through lots of programming and lots of time, I got a lot of hours into this. But I just wanted to give a heads up to everybody out there to see, let you know what I do and how I do it when I'm playing. A lot of folks were asking me questions about this. So tomorrow night I'll be online at 6 o'clock. So be sure to catch me, and you'll see this at work. Again, this is the Yamaha Genos, man. I love it. Thank you all for watching, guys and girls.